Night and day is that day we can go for our daily activities, while the night is meant for us to
welcome to NTA Nationwide. I am Adeyemi Omojola Fatoba. 27 states of the Federation are reeling from the effect of flooding this 2017. Just when people are beginning to think the worst is over, we're being told there is another imminent wave flooding as Niger and Benin republics are set to release water from their dams to avoid overflowing. This was the focus of a meeting between NEMA, NIMET and other relevant agencies to work out modalities to manage the situation. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu has the story.
This emergency meeting is convened by NEMA to brainstorm with relevant agencies and strategize on some preemptive measures in rising to the red alert issued by NIMET on the imminent flooding that may occur as Niger and Benin Republic set to release its dams. With the progressive increase of water level to alarming states in Benin Republic, Niger and Cameroon dams and streams, stakeholders at the meeting with NEMA have advocated immediate relocation of communities resident in flood-prone areas in the country. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency confirmed that both Kainji and Jaba dams on River Niger and Shiroro Dam on River Kaduna are already spilling excess water into River Niger, which portends danger to the state of Kogi, Anambra, Delta, Rivers, Imo, Bayelsa and Benue State, among others.
So whatever happens in all these other countries affect Nigeria. We are located at the downstream. All the rubbish, whatever it is, Nigeria is at the stable end.
If it is possible to move people, let them move. Because, like he also said, which I agree, life, you can't equate life with property.
Kogi State needs a reservoir, something akin to what you have in Jabi Lake. For you to protect Delta State and all the states downstream, you need to pay a lot more attention to Lokoja as we speak. We are happy that NEMA is calling together this meeting.
By making sure that the people that are involved are evacuated from those flooded areas.
The Director General of NEMA, Mustafa Mehadja, said the agency will ensure proper management of the situation in collaboration with relevant agencies and state governments.
So we are trying to equip ourselves with all the facilities to make sure that we have the necessary information, which are the tools for us to respond.
This year's flooding, which has already affected about 27 states in the country, is attributed to climate change and aggravated by the increase in volume of rainfall in the country. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
The federal government has achieved another landmark in its commitment to provide critical infrastructure for economic revival of the country. To this end, contract of 120 billion naira has been signed for the construction of Bony-Bodo Road in the Niger Delta, strategic to the region that hosts the nation's oil resources. Correspondent Usman Aliyu now reports.
This is a formal agreement for the construction of Bony-Bodo Road, hoping to provide relief among people of the Niger Delta. The contract, worth about 121 billion naira, will be funded jointly on 50 by 50% basis by federal government and the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas.
Ticks another box, which is the very, very clear statements of actions and commitment by this government about the role that the private sector can play in delivering infrastructure and in building our economy. We gather to strengthen our economy. We gather to strengthen and improve the quality of life in the Niger Delta.
We believe it is timely, and we will continue to support this. We stay committed to the project from the beginning, and we will stay committed to the end.
And this also shows the pioneering spirit of the federal government. No new ways have to be done, and I think this is the first step. And again, we are very proud to be part of it.
The federal government says construction of the Bony-Bodo road demonstrates commitment to improve social and economic well-being of the Niger Delta, which has suffered serious neglect in the past. In Abuja, Usman Ali.
Abia State Commissioner of Police Adeleye Oyebade has enjoined residents of Abia to go about their normal duties without fear of molestation, as the police and other security agencies are on to protect lives and property. Eugenia Ndubisi has that report.
Addressing the press in Abia, Mr. Oyebade said the police is working in line with other security agencies to ensure adequate security of life and property. He noted the important role of the military in security matters, adding that they complement the efforts of the police on ground.
They have sensitized members of the public, and it is approved by the High Military Command. That Operation Python -2 is to complement the police effort on ground. So I am asking members of the public not to see it as another, as if they are trampling on their privacy or fundamental human rights. Members of the public are enjoined to go about their lawful duties.
Mr. Adeleye Oyebade further said that series of meetings have been held in Omahia and Aba with members of Arewa community and have put security in place at flashpoints in the state to forestall further attack. He said some of those that were responsible for the mayhem in Aba on Tuesday have been arrested and will be arraigned on Thursday. He assured everyone of adequate security as the police and other security agencies are on ground to protect not a section of the public but to everyone. In Aba, Eugenia Ndubisi, NTA News.
More reports on security and other stories as we join Ademola in our Lagos Network Center. Hello, Ademola. It's good to see you.
It's good to see you too, Adeyemi Omojola. And thanks for coming to Lagos. The Nigerian police have arrested 2 cultists at Ibogu area of Ogun State. The police public relations officer, Zone 2 Nigeria Police Headquarters, Oniko Dolapo Badmus, disclosed this while briefing newsmen on the arrest alongside other criminal suspects in Lagos. Imole Ayo Tukede has the details.
The police public relations officer, Zone 2 of the Nigerian Police Headquarters, Lagos, Dolapo Badmus, said the 2 suspects, Oluwaseun Odue and Adejumo Wasiu, alongside 3 herbalists, were arrested by a team of officers on patrol at Ibogun area of Ogun State. The suspects confessed to being cultists and that they cut both hands of victims, which they sell to the herbalists for 5,000 naira each.
They are the ones that usually engage in robbing suspects. After robbing, they kill the unlucky ones, and then thereafter they will slice the victims.
They arrested me for a courtesan.
Another case reported by the Nigerian police is that of one Orabe Philip, who attacked his American guest by hitting him with pestle on his head in Ikorodu because he refused to part with 40,000 euros he demanded from the victim.
I didn't intend to hurt him. Honestly, God knows my heart. He's my friend, and I don't know what came over me.
Another suspect, a fake lawyer, Segun Oguntuashe, was arrested for selling a property worth 5.5 million naira, after which he absconded. 5 other alleged fraudsters who impersonated traditional healers were caught with charms, fake currencies and fetish objects.
For practicing, for signing documents as a lawyer while I'm not a lawyer, which is impersonation, therefore conversion of the fund of my clients to my personal use.
The police public relations officer says investigations are still ongoing as other accomplices will be prosecuted. In Lagos, Imole Ayo Tokide, NTA News.
A set of utility vehicles have been presented to the Lagos State Police Command in fulfillment of its pledge to combat crime. Dr. Oguyemi reports that the vehicles were presented through the Lagos State Security Trust Fund.
Presenting the new set of utility vehicles, Managing Director of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund, Dr. Abdulrazak Balogun, pledged the continuous support of the state government to the police command. He said Lagos State government takes the security of lives and property as well as the welfare of officers as priority.
As long as we continue to get resources from well-meaning Nigerians and corporations, we continue to, put it into good use like this for all our security agencies. I'll just name any security outfit in Lagos State. Our major function is to assist them in providing such assets.
The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Imoimi Edgar, who appreciated the gesture, stressed that the vehicles will be deployed to the areas where they are needed immediately. He however solicited the continuous support of members of the public for effective policing.
Where the vehicles will be put, like other metro patrol vehicles that are put in various points all over the state, will serve henceforth as mini police stations.
Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Imoimi Edgar, had earlier met with traditional rulers, government representatives and other stakeholders in Alimosho, Ojo and Ikeja local government areas on the partnership that will enhance a better productivity and service delivery from the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police advised residents to be security conscious at all times and report any strange activities around them to the authorities. In Lagos, Dotun Oguyemi, NTA News.
Advocacy for change in societal attitude towards children with special needs dominated discussion at the 2017 Annual Scientific Conference of the National Orthopedic Hospital in Igbobi, Lagos, with the theme, Challenge and Care of Children with Special Needs. Elizabeth Ewuga reports that various ways of rehabilitating children with disabilities were also deliberated.
Although there are many different types of disabilities which affect the individual in different ways, medical experts say the most rarely discussed, yet the most common in this part of the world, is cerebral palsy, a brain disorder which affects a person's ability to move in a coordinated and purposeful manner. Professor Afolabi Lesi spoke on the challenges of managing children with special needs using cerebral palsy as a case study.
Challenges can be summarized into even starts with accepting the diagnosis. It goes on to the manpower, the shortage of specialized manpower that is required for managing children with cerebral palsy.
The theme of this year's workshop was informed by the increasing cases of neglect of special children.
Like those who have cleft lip and cleft palate, those who have club foot, and others with these disabilities, they have to be properly rehabilitated and integrated into society so that they can live a normal life as much as possible.
In spite of their challenges, the special children demonstrated their ability in singing and dancing to the admiration of all.
Whether we love,
more papers on special children are expected to be presented at the 3-day conference. In Lagos, Elizabeth Ewuga, NTA News.
Well, those are some of the stories we're tracking from Lagos at this hour. It's back to you, Adeyemi, for more on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Demola. And back here in Abuja, representatives of the Non-Teaching Staff Union of Universities and Labour Congress are meeting with the federal government representatives to resolve industrial disputes that has led to strike. Emmanuel Ayimiro is standing by with an update. Hello, Ima.
It is 4 days already that the non-teaching staff of the universities embarked on an indefinite strike over the 2009 agreement, Right now, the representative of the federal government and the unions are meeting in order to iron out the gray areas so as to resolve the crisis. Both parties have agreed to approach the issues with open minds, as most of the requests contained in the non-teaching staff demand have been resolved during the government meeting with ASU. Outcome of the meeting is expected to be forwarded to the public. Over to you, studio.
Thank you, Emma. Hate speech and falsehood have been identified as cankerworm capable of eroding the enduring peace being enjoyed in the country. Director General, Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, Oshita, stated this as Nigeria joins other parts of the globe to mark International Day of Peace with the theme Togetherness for Peace, Respect, Safety and Dignity for All. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu completes the report.
The world today has continued to witness conflicts resulting from hate speech, falsehood, religious intolerance, mutual suspicion, and power tussle, which is threatening world peace and harmonious coexistence. This menace has not only eroded world peace, but also claimed many lives and property worth billions of dollars destroyed. The International Day of Peace is celebrated across the world to sensitize the people on the need to continue to mainstream on enduring peace across the globe. In Nigeria, the 2017 World Peace Day celebration is championing and evolving more strategies to achieve peace in the land. The Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, in conjunction with the United Nations, NEMA and other relevant agencies, are collaborating to make peace a reality in Nigeria.
On our part, as partners, we have been building synergies through various intervention programs, such as this present effort towards promoting a culture of peace and peaceful coexistence.
Each and every individual here has a role to play, even if to dismiss the hate speech.
The celebration is also expected to take a tour of conflict areas, especially the northeast. In Abuja, Ilyasu Ali Yakubu, NTA News.
Senior Special Assistant to the President on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Abike Dabiri-Erewa, has called for the establishment of anti-human trafficking desks in all Nigerian missions abroad, particularly in destination countries. This, she said, would help reduce the menace of human trafficking. Gabriel Body reports.
Bearing in mind that women and children are the worst hit by the ugly phenomenon of human trafficking, the two Amazons, as women and mothers, said no stone will be left unturned in halting modern-day slavery, which human trafficking has come to represent.
Somebody trafficked is tricked into going abroad, is tricked into some employment that is not existent. So I look forward to working with you to ensure that we make an impact in this issue of trafficking. It is getting more worrisome. It is getting more dangerous, and we need to save our youth from themselves.
Because if there's no demand and there's no high profit, the girls will not be coming. They send back the girls that are used and spent. They see these girls and boys. Even boys are not left out. They rape our boys. They turn them into male prostitutes and all of that. They see them as a cargo.
The conversation also suggests a change of strategy by demanding that destination countries prosecute criminal gangs and freeze assets of traffickers in their countries. So far, NAPTIV has rescued over 12,000 victims since inception. In Abuja, Gabriel Udu, NTA News.
After several trips made towards the promotion of economic development in every part of the country, especially through micro, small and medium enterprise, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo inspects an exhibition of made-in-Nigeria products and expresses satisfaction on the achievements the country is recording in its diversification programs. Jide Onifade reports.
This is not the fourth time the Vice President would be inspecting exhibitions on Nigerian-made products. On each occasion, Vice President Yemi Osinbajo expresses optimism that the nation's products would meet the global standard and compete favorably with that of developed nations.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. But it just tells you that, you know, what we're saying about diversification of the economy, especially the agro-processing, agro-allied value chain, it's already, you know, taken root so much, and we're seeing tremendous progress.
As he says, this is what the Buhari administration aims to achieve with the diversification policy.
One of the most important things about the executive orders, just generally getting all of the agencies that are relevant and necessary to really quicken the pace of granting approvals to all of these products. And I think that we're getting very positive results.
The Vice President hopes to see and inspect more exhibitions such as this, for, as he says, opportunities in Nigeria are no longer hidden, but have been discovered by many people that the country is blessed so much in terms of resources.
There's so much that's going on. But the good thing is that they're not exporting raw products. They're actually processing them, packaging them, and the packaging is world class. If you look around here, the packaging is world class.
It makes international standard. We, for example, have taken my products to the US, I've taken my products to UK, and they meet the standard.
Before, most of Nigerians, they find it difficult as per the packaging. But now the packaging is quite okay. That's why we're able to penetrate into the market. The
exhibition is part of an ongoing SME conference and training workshops organized by the Nigerian American Chamber of Commerce and the Economic Affairs section of the United States Embassy in Nigeria. In Abuja, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
Gender equality advocates seek end to discrimination against women and girl child. Let's join Fatai in our Ibadan Network Center for this and more reports. Over to you, Fatai.
Thank you, Adeyemi Omojola, and it's a warm welcome to Africa's cradle of television, Ibadan. Equal opportunities and social justice have been identified as a bedrock for maximum utilization of potentials of the people, especially the female folks. This was the consensus of speakers at the 10th annual Professor Bolanle Awe lecture series in Ibadan. Yemisi Ajagun has details.
While speaking on the topic feminist aspirations in Nigeria, the journey so far and proactive agenda for future success, the guest speaker, Dr. Akeode, called for the absence of sex-based discrimination and reorientation and change of social norms which affect women negatively.
Or when you belittle her person, when you silence the voice of a woman, those are those barriers that we're talking about.
The Zonal Director, NTA Ibadan Network Center, Mrs. Jennifer Famosikpe, represented, encouraged women to rise up and take their place.
It's high time we ourselves as women, it's high time we stood up to fight for this. And we also need to empower ourselves.
Other speakers agreed that socialization has been the bane of gender inequality. Professor Bolanle Awe expressed appreciation to the organizer of the event and called for proactiveness in ending the social norms of discrimination.
And feel happy that I'm here, hale and hearty, and can listen to the lecture and all the comments in good health.
Highlights of the event include decoration of Professor Awe and presentation of award to outstanding personalities. The annual event is dedicated to Professor Bolanle Awe in Ibadan. Yemisi Ajagun, NTA News.
And now to labor matters. Trouble is yet to be over in the public health sector as other health workers, aside from resident doctors, have given notice of industrial action to government. Here in Ibadan, workers at the University College Hospital say the industrial action will be total after the notice. Shola Wahid reports.
Just as the federal government and resident doctors are resolving issues that led to the industrial crisis and the doctors calling off their actions, other health workers are poised for their own action. A congress of non-academic staff union of universities and tertiary health institutions and medical health workers of the University College Hospital Ibadan recently sat to deliberate on issues bordering on the welfare of their members. Victor Sotiloye is the spokesperson of the health workers.
We hereby demands one, that the promotion area for the year 2013, 2014, 2015, and 2016 be paid without further delay. That all staff and years due to short-term experience in the years 2014, 2015, and 2016 settled without further delay.
The workers allege that all means of peaceful dialogue have been exploited without success, making them to give 14 days ultimatum within which their demands should be met. In Ibadan, Shola Wahid, NTA News.
That's it from the cradle. Back to you, Omojola, for continuation of the story.
Fatai, and still talking health and strike matters. Anybody who has been observing the Nigerian labor environment will wonder whether Nigeria has entered the season of strikes or whether strikes have suddenly become fashionable. At the states, it's civil servants, teachers, and the likes, while resident doctors are holding the rest of us to ransom at the federal level. Now, the Joint Health Union Assembly of Healthcare Professionals are threatening to join in the mix. They have even gone ahead to tag their own Operation Alligator Bite, whatever that means. Mujanatu Adam Sahid tells us more about this.
The union says in 2012, agreements were reached on issues concerning its members, while those not agreed were referred to the National Industrial Court, which rules in favor of joint health sector unions on skipping its consolidated health salary structure, Cohenson 10.
The federal government has not paid skipping arrears to our members, whereas the resident doctors, who were neither a party to the case nor are on the Congress, insisted they should skip on comments and arrears paid to them, while the original beneficiaries, that is the joint health sector union members, are not paid.
Other concerns of the workers include payments of outstanding promotion arrears and autonomy for teaching and specialist hospitals. Review of retirement age from 60 to 65 as done in tertiary education sector and many more.
If by the midnight of Wednesday, 20th September 2017, our demands are not met, all our members nationwide are called upon to embark on indefinite total strike action.
In Abuja, Murijanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
Governor Mohammed Abdullahi Abubakar of Bauchi State has reiterated determination of his led government to transform a health sector in Bauchi State into a robust and vibrant sector in all its ramifications. The governor reiterated this at the launch of the first Bauchi Resources for the Awareness of Population Impacts on Development for Child Spacing, known as RAPID. Adamu Aruna Adams reports that the initiative, which seeks to avert consequences of rapid population growth, is a collaborative effort between the Bauchi State government and our development partner Health Policy Plus.
Resources for the Awareness of Population Impacts on Development, with the acronym RAPID, is an advocacy for employment of certain measures to check rapid population growth by projecting possible social and economic consequences on all sectors of the economy of a state or a country. Therefore, the program seeks to, among other things, raise policy makers' awareness in Bauchi State regarding the importance of fertility and population growth as factors in socio-economic development. The country director, Health Policy Plus, Mr. Anoriode Izere, says Bauchi State, with an estimated population of about 7.3 million, needs to improve access to vital resources such as education, healthcare, and employment opportunities.
As children unborn, and even those that are born already, and the type of life we want them to have, and the type of life we want them to live.
Governor Mohammed Abubakar commends Health Policy Plus.
The project will help us better understand the impact of population growth on our health indices in particular, and healthcare delivery services in general, so that we can adopt strategies to overcome the challenges.
Representatives of other development partners also expressed readiness to see to the success of the campaign for child spacing in Bauchi State. In Bauchi, Adamu Haruna Adams, NTA News.
You can watch this news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or at the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Thanks for staying with us on NTA Nationwide. It's time now to take a short break. More reports when we return.
Hate speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There is no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom, peace and unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
Dear Nigerians, let's safeguard our lives and properties against flood. Did you know that flood is a natural or man-made disaster that has affected thousands, with many lives lost and properties damaged? Change begins with you and me. Do not build houses along waterways and flood-prone areas. If you live around flood-prone areas, please start considering relocating to avoid losses. Avoid dumping of refuse in gutter and water channels. Frequently clear your drainages and waterways. Always listen to weather forecast on television and radio. Adhere and take seriously early warning alerts from relevant authorities. And in case of emergency, call 0800-2255-6362. Remember, disaster management is everybody's business. This message is from the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. NEMA, for the sake of the distressed.
The National Council for Arts and Culture, Nigeria, presents the closing ceremony for the African Arts and Crafts Expo 2017. The event comes to a close with lots of cultural awards and presentation of prizes. Date, Sunday, 17th September 2017. Venue, Arts and Crafts Village, beside Sheraton Hotels and Yerodo Center, Abuja. Time, 4 p.m. Special guest of honor, Executive Governor of Ogun State, His Excellency Yahaya Bello. Chairman of the occasion, Mrs. Winifred Oyo-Ita, Head of Service of the Federation. Royal Father of the Day, the owner of Abaji, Alhaji Adamu Yunusa. Mother of the Day, Abike Dabiri Erewa, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Diaspora. Chief Host, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Otumba Olusegun Ronsewe. Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture. Host and Announcer.
But what I want to tell you that each and every one of us today, Nigerian rebirth starts from you and I.
Something big is coming this September on this channel. 37 intelligent Nigerian youths will lead over 200 million viewers into the labor room. For 60 days in one mansion, they must pay the price to deliver to the world a brand new super nation. Nigeria Rebirth Foundation unveils the first ever national development reality TV show, The Labor Room. African leaders, royal fathers, captains of industries, friends of Nigeria, women, youths and children will all join the Super 37 to push. Over 3,000 guests from across the world will witness selected 37 intelligent Nigerian youths as they pass through the sacred door of the labor room on the 17th of September 2017 at the International Conference Center, Abuja. Time, 5 p.m. The Labor Room. Something big is coming. To register and attend, visit www.thelaborroom.ng.
Reorganized, trained, and fully equipped, we are the new improved Nigeria Police Force. We fight crime. We bust syndicates. Whatever the crime, wherever the hideout, the Nigeria Police Force will get you busted. Stop kidnapping, armed robbery, murder, pipeline vandalism and other criminal activities. Be productive. Be security conscious. Join the police force to secure your life and property. This message is from the Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Department.
Unemployment, notably youth unemployment, features strongly in our party's manifesto. We intend to attack the problem frontally through revival of agriculture.
the 30K is going a long way. Actually, I bought an acre of land for 60K like 2012, and presently I have a cassava farm and a yam farm.
You're still watching NTA Nationwide. Thanks for being there. Ogun State Governor Ibikunle Amosun has enjoined stakeholders to support the government to achieve success in the planned establishment of a new polytechnic in the state. The governor made the appeal while addressing elders and stakeholders during an assessment tour of the proposed site of the project ahead of the groundbreaking event. Lekon Agmode completes the report.
For 2 days, the seat of government shifted to Ipokia as the governor, his deputy and other members of the cabinet moved to the town to prepare ground for the takeoff of the polytechnic. With pomp and pageantry, the elated people of the community welcomed them. The governor and his team also went from street to street to interact with the people and explain to them what the project was all about. He told them that Ipokia was chosen as a location for the institution because of its topography and warm and receptive attitude of the people.
You are inheriting a very active, a well-run polytechnic that has about 42 different courses that's already accredited. And we are bringing all of them to this place.
The people thank the government for the gesture, which they described as a bingar of growth and development, not only to Ipokia, but the Ogun West Senatorial District and the state in general.
One of the best things in life, the governance should have been done for us. In fact, we are more than happy.
What this great man has done, or what he's about to do, is to change and rewrite the history of Ipokia local government and Yewa land in general.
The governor, however, promised that local contractors will be mostly engaged in the construction of structures, while compensation would also be paid. Lekon Agmode, NTA News.
Key players in the agricultural sector have emphasized the need to move livestock production from a cultural system to a national issue. Guvan Shaji reports that funding was also one of the key issues guests on Good Morning Nigeria highlighted as a major setback to livestock production in Nigeria.
Statistics show that Nigeria is #1 in livestock in Africa and has the most conducive environment to make this sub-agricultural sector more viable with a view to boosting the nation's gross domestic product, GDP. However, lack of policies, research institutes and funding are some of the factors identified by guests as militating against the development of the livestock industry in Nigeria.
We need to look at livestock as a national business, despite the fact that individuals run it. So we should be able to provide all the necessary incentive in terms of training, in terms of facilities, for us to be able to transform the livestock.
The only place where a full cow is consumed and no iota of value chain is taken away from the cow is Nigeria. When a full cow is being consumed, you've displaced 54 children from school sandal because a full cow will give you 54 sandals for school children. The horn of a cow is used in making buttons. But ours, no, we burn ours. Is the best glue, customized glue for furniture making is from the bones of these cows.
They also called on government at all levels to invest in modern technology in livestock production, grazing reserves, as well as a total overhaul in the value chain of the sector.
There is the need for us to introduce modern livestock production, not only for the purpose of breeding good cows, but also for the purpose of getting good quality milk.
The river Niger and river Benue trough, throughout the year there is water.
a lot of the land mass in this area can be grown into controlled grazing areas, where new protein hybrids of grass can be grown, so that the nomads themselves stop roaming from one end of Nigeria to the other.
The guests also reiterated the need for key players in the livestock industry to become more responsible, implement regulations to guide livestock, as well as a deliberate budgetary process for the industry. In Abuja, Gufan Shaji, NTA News.
Inauguration of Abia General Hospital by Governor Wike. We now join the Barbary in our Port Harcourt Network Center for these and other stories. It's over to you.
Good evening, Adeyemi, and welcome to Port Harcourt. River State Governor Nyesom Wike has inaugurated the Abia General Hospital, reconstructed by his administration, with a call to political office holders at all levels to support government in bringing good governance to the people. The governor made the call while inaugurating the Abia General Hospital, which was equipped by the member representing Abua Odua, Ahoda East Federal Constituency, Betty Apiafi, as part of a constituency project. Ogediekwe completes the report.
The General Hospital was dilapidated and a ghost of itself, a situation that denied the people of the local government area access to quality health care. Governor Wike, while inaugurating the hospital, assured the people of the area adequate government attention because they have embraced peace. The governor commended the Federal House of Representatives member representing Abua Odua Ahoda East Federal Constituency, Betty Okagwa Apiafe, for opting to equip the reconstructed hospital as part of her constituency project.
I expect all of us who are in public office, who are representing our people, that come and support government to touch the lives of our people.
The people of Abua and Odua had to go to Ahoda and other neighboring local governments for medical treatment, and in most cases resort to self-medication.
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Health, Mrs. Caroline Wale, said the hospital is a 60-bed capacity secondary health care facility with service quarters, doctors, nurses, matron quarters, and open for inpatient and outpatient services. The governor, in continuation of the constituency project, also flagged off free medical and deworming exercise. From Abua Odua local government area of Rivers State, Ogediekwe, NTA News.
Management and staff of NTA Port Harcourt Network Center have commended the transformation drive of the new Zonal Director Port Harcourt Network Center, Bayo Bamidele, who has continued with new vigor. The rebranding commenced by the immediate past Zonal Director, Dr. Ni Oyele. They made their positions during an interactive session with the staff and management. Diankume Ololo completes the story.
The meeting afforded the zonal director the opportunity to feel the pulse of his staff and aggregate their concern with a view to working out solutions to address the challenges toward improving the services of the station. The new zonal director, NTA Port Harcourt, Bayo Bamidele, with the spirit of rebranding, recorded landmark achievements. Some of the achievements include the installation of new audio mixer, renovation of the NTA conference room, as well as the premises of NTA.
We now have a better station that can actually leverage our client and give them value for money.
Mission on VHF is on terrestrial. What I mean, what you can watch on your ROF signal. But for instance, it is not there. Just go straight on start time. We are on channel 103.
My passion has always been to add value wherever I get to. If you look at our quality of transmission, we have one of the best transmission quality now.
Special prayers were offered to improve the services of the station in Port Harcourt. Yanukume Ulolu, NTA News.
3 winners have emerged at the grand finale of the African Children Talent Discovery Foundation 2017 with a star prize of 1 million naira each. Emmanuel then reports that the event, which held in Port Harcourt and tagged Unleash Your Talent, attracted celebrities and other stakeholders in the Nigerian entertainment industry.
The African Children Talent Discovery Foundation is a platform to search, discover, and empower talented Nigerian youths in the areas of acting, singing, and dancing. The grand finale of the 2017 edition, tagged Unleash Your Talent, brought together Nollywood greats and celebrities and other music stars, as well as comedians. 11 finalists contested in the acting, singing, and dancing categories. After the star performances by the finalists, Okechukwu Johnson Chinelo emerged best in the singing category. Osinachi Prince Amadi won in the acting category, while Oluchi Oliazuhuche won the dancing category and were presented with a prize of 1 million naira each. President and founder, African Children Talent Discovery Foundation, Engineer Noah Dalaji, thanked the partners, stakeholders, and participants for support and inspiration over the years.
We all have talent, but until we have a platform, something like this, we won't be able to unleash the talent.
We want Port Harcourt to encourage the talents that are here. Talents abound in Port Harcourt.
The best thing you can do in life is to inspire growth, and giving back to the society has to do with building life.
The African Children Talent Discovery Foundation was established about 2 decades ago to discover and nurture talents among the youths to give their life meaning. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
And that's our beat from Port Harcourt. Is back to Adeyemi for the rest of the news. Good evening.
Thank you, Debabari. A new Secretary General to steer the affairs of the United Nations World Tourism Organization has emerged. He is Zuraib Pololishkavili from Georgia. He emerged after a consensus which saw Africa's Walter Nzembe stepping down. Anthony Fussin reports.
With the leadership of the General Assembly lined up for their first duty, the Secretary General, Taleb Rufai, read the proceedings, which had contributions from the delegates, who are all keen to know who succeeds Taleb Rufai, a man whom they say has brought the organization this far in his 8 years as Secretary General. Although Africa had indicated its interest, but the candidate stepped down for his counterpart from Georgia. This brought to the fore unity, brotherhood, and oneness that the membership share.
I'd like to commit my support to my good friend Zura for his tenure starting 2017 to 2021. You can count on my support.
Calculations were right before we went in for the session this morning as to whether we were going to end up voting or going by acclamation. Yes, issues were raised, but at the end of the day, clearly reason prevailed, and the UNTW once again put to the whole world that it's one united family.
This organization is not for Europe, this organization is not for Africa. This is World Tourism Organization, and I'm African as well, not European today, because I saw many very intelligent and very prepared people and ministers with whom I see a lot of things to do. Especially Nigeria, your minister is has very interesting ideas. We talked yesterday with him, and I'm sure that we will collaborate.
The World Tourism Organization is the UN agency responsible for the promotion of responsible, sustainable, and universally acceptable tourism that will be a catalyst for economic growth. In Chengdu, China, Anthony Forson, NTA News.
One fundamental issue relating to homebound airlift of Nigerian pilgrims from Saudi Arabia is timely arrival of their luggage. However, the baggage collection and weighing while in the Holy Land is another matter. Abdullahi Mustafa examines this issue and measures being taken to address it at this year's Hajj.
This is a typical day in one of the popular Hajj markets in Mecca.
Pilgrims, especially Nigerians, visit the market to purchase gift items for their loved ones. Some do that unmindful of the maximum load they are allowed to carry while going home. Officially, each of them is entitled to 40 kilograms, consisting of 32 kilograms male luggage and 8 kilogram handbag. The issue of excessive luggage has over the years been a major obstacle to smooth homebound airlift operations. Against this background, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria directed state pilgrims welfare boards to devise means of addressing the problem during this year's Hajj operation. For instance, instead of going to the main weighing center, Kano State Pilgrims Welfare Board provided weigh scales at each of its 6 houses in Makkah. Pilgrims weigh their bags at home before presenting them to officials for onward delivery to the main collection center.
Our people have cooperated. Whatever we advise them, they have taken.
The pilgrims were equally satisfied with the new arrangement.
The way they arrange everything is comfortable, more especially before the pilgrims should carry their lot to Jeddah. When they get there, they are maltreating them.
It is expected that the way at home arrangement initiated by Kano State Pilgrims Welfare Board will bring to an end the delay being experienced in evacuating pilgrims' luggage to Nigeria. In Makkah, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Thank you, Abdullahi. For happenings on the international scene, let us join Nancy Godi Anunihu.
You're welcome. U.S. President Donald Trump has denied reaching a deal with top Democrats to protect young, undocumented migrants. Mr. Trump said massive border security would have to be agreed in exchange for consent on immigration program. Top Congress Democrats Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer announced agreements after talks with Trump on Wednesday. Japan's Prime Minister Shinzo Abe has launched work to build India's first high-speed train in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's home state of Gujarat. Mostly funded by our $17 billion loan from Japan, the bullet train will run between Ahmedabad city and Mumbai. The 5-year project is expected to cut